Born and bred Peterborough. Grew up, loved school life. Off I went into football in terms of playing for a professional football team. Got released, unfortunately, when I was 16. Didn't work out. Realised at one point, this ain't going to happen. So off I went into the world of business. Setting up a business, I was like, well, I'm earning, my mortgage is covered through my football sport. I've got to just take what I've got here, I've got some savings and make some money. Can I earn £2,000 a month or not? Rydal Group has got 16 million run rate in revenue, probably 90 to 100 staff.
Yeah.
It's evolving every single month. We've got growth going on. Leadership is a vital part to any organisation. If you try and just do it yourself, or maybe just one of you, you're going to be all right up to 50 odd staff, maybe 5-6 million turnover, 7 million turnover. It will fall apart after that.
Before you start this episode, please can you click subscribe below and follow our social handles in the description. It's a massive help and it keeps you up to date with all the exciting announcements from the podcast. Hi Steff, thanks very much for coming on and seeing us.
You're welcome, mate.
Good stuff.
To see you.
I want to throw you straight in at the deep end for the start. I'm going to give you a minute to take me from Steff coming into the world to present day.
Wow.
I'll give you a minute to summarise it. So
Okay.
everyone can get to know you super quickly.
So, yeah, little Steff, born and bred Peterborough, and went to a school called Norwood School. Grew up, loved school life, was a massive part of my kind of upbringing, obviously. And we were football mad in the household, so I kind of, all I ever was there was kicking the ball down the street.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it does, yeah. So I was, heavily in football. Evolved out of that, and then kind of off I went into football in terms of playing for a professional football team. Got released, unfortunately, when I was 16. Didn't work out. Still tried to hang on for a club not far from here.
Yeah.
I was at Kettering for a bit, and but realised at one point this ain't going to happen. So off I went into the world of business, and 14 years on from setting up Rydal. No, 17 years on. God, I'm losing track.
Yeah.
17 years on setting up Rydal Group. In the lead up to that, though, before we got going, I was working for the likes of Virgin. And just learning my way, but it's a couple of years. I mean, I was a junior really, and I knew I wanted to work for myself, so I just thought, right, give it a go.
So you started on the business journey quite early.
I did, probably too early.
There's a lot of people find it later on down the line, don't they?
They do, yeah. So I knew I wanted to work for myself, and I think probably sport kind of got me there. Looking at this, because very head focused, and I never forget the days of being told to pack my own bags. You're off to Denmark at the age of 12, you know. And it's the football club instilled a lot of good stuff at Peterborough United for me. So that kind of helped me evolve, and
that explains
grow.
a lot about why you're so ingrained with Peterborough United now.
Yeah. As a kid, I mean, my dad used to take me to all the matches, and then when you're half decent as a youngster, as many parents will now find out with their children, the clubs sniff about, and then being the club you follow, you want to go and join it. So I was passionate about it. But
how did you get into Peterborough then? Did you just play for another club and then just get picked up?
I was just playing local football, and then there was a few. There was them, Forest. There's a few that kind of sniff around the area, and then I was good at that age. I was not a bad footballer at all. And then off I went and was around better players, and you just evolve. First year was tough there, then did really well, and got released. I just wasn't good enough in the end. I got released, but then I kind of went into non-league football, but then I did okay there, and I had a few more pro clubs coming in. It got to the point now, the realisation I either wanted to make it, and if I can't make it there, get on with something else. I'm going to make myself. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you're
wasting time.
Yeah,
continuously.
Tuesday night, Thursday night, Wednesdays. Whatever you're doing training wise on a Saturday, it consumes your life, and
is that how much you're doing it? So if you're a kid, like my Freddie plays a bit, might not get to that sort of standard, but so when you're sniffing around with likes of Peterborough and stuff, what is it, 3? So it's 3 times a week, 4 times a week,
and the rest. Because remember when I was like 15, you end up doing well, and you end up playing for maybe the year above. So you're doing multiple sessions, but it's probably changed now. They have a lot more consideration, I think, around your body. Although the club then at the time were kind of advanced really in that area. Yeah. But they were an academy, so you used to play against the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea.
Nice.
It was a great experience as a kid growing up. People on TV I see now, I used to remember them sticking the ball in the top corner against us if we played against them. So you had a great upbringing. The biggest thing I got from it, I think, was like a team bond. You sit there and you kicking a ball, but it's about losing together, winning together, and about that you can't just do it on your own. And some of the great players who do it on their own end up being
fucking superstars, aren't they?
Ronaldo's or whatever. But you have to be part of a team to make stuff work, and I took that into business. I think it's really important. And some of the hardest bits I found in business, I kind of look back and think, well, how did I get through that? I think it's my mentality of sport.
Things build up over time. Yeah.
I
think there's a lot of similarities between sport and the business world in terms of just like the mentality stuff.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think of your running. You know when you go running?
Yeah.
Aaron, you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah.
And you're going out, but you're like that in business as well. You're determined, and you want to beat that next thing. You've still got that drive.
Yeah.
It correlates, right? And I'm seeing it in terms of my whole career, in terms of sport, football, how it's led into business.
Yeah. No, fair enough. So with the football stuff then, so I knew you played, but what position did you play?
Centre mid and centre back.
Centre mid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so play that. It wasn't long ago.
So our position centre mid growing up
and down like I was ever so skinny, mate. Like I'm still, well...
You're not bad shape.
No, I'm not. Nowhere near what I used to be. And skinny and athletic, up and down. But it's...
why don't you think you made it? In terms of
wasn't physical enough, I don't think, when I look back at...
what, just filled out enough?
Yeah, like wasn't...
Your game was...
Yeah, I was quite really lean and was athletic, up and down. But yeah, I think the physicality side of it was probably one of my downfalls.
Yeah.
But I got that actually later on. So when I went like non-league football, then I ended up going centre back. So I was good on the ball, very good on the ball, and pace. I think if you look at today's game, which is really interesting, it's all about the strength, pace.
Yeah.
And that is an area now where the technicality side of it is probably, it's still got to be there. But if you're fast and up and down doing 100 metres in 11 seconds,
you look at some of the players that are there. You think that they're not amazing on the ball, but they're athletes, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And they get that wing back position because they know they can get up and down.
They
might not have the end result, but they can work on that bit, I suppose. And
you've got it, and that's it. So but ultimately, I was not good enough in the end. So that's something that was a big knock to me. But I think my parents took it just as bad. You know, I remember getting
told. They got to support you and ferry you around everywhere.
They invested, and I think with my children now, and I was passionate and wanted to be a footballer. Like when you look back now, I wanted that, and I think when I go back to your question around kind of how it's all led to where I'm at today, I look at what I wanted in business, and it was really weird when you work for someone. It was never really the same passion.
Yeah,
I never, it was sometimes felt like a chore rather than something I really want to get out and do.
Yeah,
and I took that kind of. I've always remembered that and tried to make sure in my business that I monitor that with people. And also you try and create an environment where they can flourish really and express themselves. So
because you can work for a company, can't you? And you tread water for a period of time.
Right? Yeah. So I thought for myself like, okay, if I go and set a business up, I want to make sure that that's an area that I keep an eye on. But I just knew within myself I needed to do something that I can grab and get behind, and that's when I kind of looked to go into my own business. And I kind of landed on my feet really. So I know you're probably going to ask me the question around how I got into setting up Rydal specifically. So I worked for a company and worked at Virgin, did well. I had a lot of money in about 9 to 10 months.
What were you selling?
Yeah, it was door knocking. So I was door knocking. It didn't start.
I love door knocking.
It's proper sales.
Best job I've ever had.
Yeah. So I worked at Virgin, and it was going around to what's called DSG stores. So that would be the likes of today, I think Curry's, it was Dixon's back then, or whatever it is now, and PC World. You'd go around to all the stores and you'd train them to sell Virgin into the stores. And I was quite lucky, being a 22, 23 years of age. Most of the guys in the store and the girls were my age.
Similar age,
Yeah. So I'd go with crates of beer, extra bits and bobs. Before you know it, I did really well in that.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget
going. Before you know it, you'd be throwing midgets at a target.
Literally. Wolf of Wall Street, not wrong. So before you know it, I've gone through that process, gone to the training event, and they've brought the direct sales team that go out door knocking into a room with us. So I'm sat next to this lad called Matthew, bless his soul. He's passed away now. So Matt sat there, and he's like, I was like, what do you earn? He's like, I earn X. I was like, what? So he's earning double the amount I'm earning.
Yeah.
He's like, mate, you need to get over to the direct side. You'll kill it. So off I went and got a transfer into him.
So is that houses then?
This was it. This is a complete different shift where you've got a company car. I'm driving around the whole of East Anglia, visiting all these stores every day to try and get them to sell for you, to go and do it yourself. And it was now go and knock council estate doors and go knock residential doors.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, God, this has got to be an easier way. When I started doing it, there's got to be an easier way. So one of the smart ideas was get into a university area. So me and him moved into. We both decided to go and rent a place. It's Matt, and we'll share the place and go to Oxford. So we went around the university there, cleaned up. But that's seasonal. So like, the 9 months, you have a 3-month gap.
Yeah.
So we're like, what do we do in these 3 months? And this is where I got the edge. I went and got the maps out. And it used to be called, I can't name it. It's NTL, and there was another brand in there. But it's still, all the offices were not branded as Virgin still. Yeah. So you'd go into this NTL office, pull out all the maps. I found an army barracks in Wales.
Okay, yeah.
Completely laid full of cable. And no one had ever sold into it. So I rang the boss, said, can I go there and try this? And he said, go on, give you permission. Off I went, drove over there. It was like a 3-hour bloody drive, 2.5 hour drive, pulled up. And the hardest part was getting on the site. So
I was going to say, there's restriction.
Yeah. So the minute I got one lad in his army kit said, right, I'm from Virgin, Do you want it in your room? Yeah, he got me in, and that was it. So my target was say like 10 a week, and I was doing 10 to 15 a day every time I pulled up. So earned the money, and then the commission structure all changed. And it was
because of you, probably.
Yeah, there's a few of us. I think the university guys did it. The commission structure was changing, so it was time to move on. And looking back, it was kind of propelled us really, because you having a reasonable amount of money. And then I used to like DJing, so I used to go off and DJ in the clubs in Peterborough. Yeah. Be playing my football at the weekend. So I think my mortgage was kind of covered off from playing football. Yeah. DJing in the clubs, which is a conflict of interest there on a Friday night. You got a match on a Saturday, right? Yeah. But I loved it, and it's great when you're young. Like, got a little flat in town, loving life. So setting up a business, I was like, well, I'm earning, my mortgage is covered through my football sport. I've got to just take what I've got here, I've got some savings, and make some money. Can I earn $2,000 a month or not? And of course you can. Go and make it happen. I admire anyone who's later on in their career that's got a family, house, mortgage. I think I said this to you before. Yeah. And they go and set a business up, because it's like, that's a big gamble. Yeah. I mean, the macroeconomics right now, to go off and just go, right, I'm quitting my job, is a big risk. And I probably had not a lot around me at the time.
How old would you have been before you started?
So I was 24 when I set up.
24.
Yeah, so that's some years now. So 41 today. So yeah, that's some years going, and it's been a journey. It's been a right journey and a roller coaster along the way. But today, I mean, Rydal Group has got. We're trading now roughly 16 million run rate in revenue. Yeah. We're. So I don't know how many staff. We've got probably 90 to 100 staff. Yeah. It's evolving every single month. We've got growth going on. And we're quite heavy in the M&A sector now. So we're trying. We don't go and buy the big companies. We're kind of a good home for someone that's doing sub 2 million in revenue at the moment. Yeah. And I think that bracket's going to increase where we move it up to, say, companies that are doing 3, 4, 5 million. But the private equity companies come in, or companies that are backed by private equity seem to mop up the higher stuff. So there's a little
sweet spot in the middle.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot for us. And I know stuff we've spoken to about with Guru. Like, I think it's a good angle for you guys to progress, and you guys are growing. And that'll be your next step. You'll start to kind of probably bat in the area where we were, because we are notching up now, where we're looking at stuff that's always kind of over £1 million in revenue. Yeah. But that's how we've evolved, and it's been. I mean, 17 years is a long time in business, right? And
so going from knocking doors to buying other people's businesses is quite a journey, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's insane. And do you know what? The biggest thing along the way, if I could strip it all back, I would say, how do I get there? It's surround yourself with the right people. So I think if you look back at Guru now, since we got to know each other, the stuff that's happened within Guru's business and the relationship we've got, we're friends. And when you get round the right people who are willing to share that insight and information and go to that supplier for X, you do this in this scenario. Yeah.
It's valuable.
Of course it is. You're speeding up. It's something that you will, because you're smart. You'll work it out within 2 or 3 years in terms of evolvement, but knowing it instantly. Yeah. And some of the information you get isn't relevant today, but it becomes relevant.
I think you know what you know, don't you? But you've got to walk the walk, haven't you? And it's good to speak to people and have people in the network that are maybe a little bit further ahead than you as well. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you've got people in your network that are a little bit further ahead, and it's kind of you tap into. And
that's how I grow.
Tap into those people.
That's how I grew, Aaron. So if I look back now, I did exactly the same thing. I used to go on trips with people and go away to events and speak to people, and you get around like-minded individuals, and you take the best bits of what they do and put it into your organisation, and then off you go again. And you've got your own drives and your own beliefs, and that combined with looking at what other people do who are doing it well, hopefully it's 2 + 2 = 6 scenario. It's the benefit of growth.
So what's your relationship with leadership? How important is leadership to you?
Huge. Now, going back to the conversation a second ago about football, you're not going to go and conquer the world on your own, and certainly the telecom sector and the IT sector is a forever fast growing industry. You need a good team around you. So I think it goes through waves and journeys as you go over this wide period of 17 years of trading.
What was it like at the start for you?
Hustle. Yeah, it was me, my mates, football. John can work for me, get in here, and then it's interesting. My commercial director, I've given 5% of our group to. He's my second or third employee, so there's always one that kind of is similar with you, stays the journey, can stick. But there's some people are fantastic. I think one of the hardest things of leadership is you want everyone to grow, but you've got to know when to say, I think they've hit their ceiling now. And also, not everyone wants what you want, the growth and the drive. And some people are happy just to stay in their lane and get to that junction and go, do you know what? I've got a decision to make. I'm going to stay where I am. we'll turn right here, not left where you want to go, and that's okay. And what we've gone through that transition period, because we've gone from probably 7-8 million to double that in probably 3 years. And you learn a lot about your people, and life changes, kids, families.
What do you reckon is your biggest learn?
My biggest learn
in that growth phase?
In that growth phase is to... it's exciting being part of a company that grows. This is what I say to my people. It's exciting being a part of a company that grows. This is now, by the way. This is because we've learned. So it's exciting to be part of a company that grows, but it's okay to not want to grow as well. To stay where you are, because you need them people. And I think sometimes everyone had the aspiration to grow, but the difficult thing was actually we now need the expertise coming in to help mature these people as well.
Yeah.
And I think when you grow from within organically, people are learning on the job, and that is difficult. So looking back, some of my key hires that have made a big impact in my business have been external coming in. So I look at my CFO, Paul, looking at numbers in a different way. I thought my finance manager, and they were good people, were the best since sliced bread, until he came in. I realised, actually, there's room for improvement there, and we can do better.
Everything's always the best until something else is found, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So in your own mind, and that's because I see things positively. I want the best for people. But coaching, development, we've always done along the way, but I feel like we probably lent too much on internal staff who are growing with us to shape everything. And that's unfair on them as well. Yeah, because that's a big ask.
So maybe people that are not necessarily ready for it or don't want it at that point, you're trying to shoehorn them into wanting that growth, or is that what you mean?
So possibly, but that's just part of the job. Like, you're in it now, we now need to do this, off we go. But it's having that, as a leader, having that observation, a helicopter lens kind of view, going in and going, right, actually, can this person really get us to that point? That might be, and bless them, they want to do it for you, but it's not. It's probably the pressure we put on them is unfair, in that aspect. So
in that sort of situation, what would you do?
I would assess what the people I've got around me now. I think 1 or 2 key hires at the right point is vital.
Yeah.
Because at this current moment, I'd go and speak to them now.
Yeah.
And say, what do we all think? And because you've got different walks of life, different experience, people that have been in £50 million turnover businesses, you start thinking differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas when you're in an environment where it's just you, so look at yourself and JB, right? In your business, if it's just you two all the time, you're going to always do what you've always got, because you're always going to get what you've always got. Is that saying?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, so you're going to keep doing it, and to the point where you hit this roadblock, and you're like, sugar, we don't know the answer to this. It might be financial. Then you bring that person in, you're like, oh, they're giving a different lens on this, and it just opens you up. So I think we're now fortunate that at board level we've got a lot of expertise. But sales director, Charterhouse Voice and Data, he was one of the co-founders there. I think he got out when they were like 20 million, not far from the size we are now. But is it ironic that we're at 8 million when we met? We're now growing. So because I've got different types of people around me, and that helps.
So when you're smaller, everything goes through you. You can be a bottleneck to a degree, but also the plus side is you can drag the business there where you want it to, because you've got the commitment. How do you let go of control? Because that's not the position that you're in now. You hired these people, so you've got capability and a different look on things that are experienced, that are all good in their areas. So you can't drag those people necessarily. You can't push them necessarily in those areas. They bring a unique bit to the table, which means then you lose a bit of control as the owner. How have you managed that process of everything coming through you at one point to now having a more of a wider board responsibility?
So I think this is probably one of the most difficult things of any business owner.
Because it's your baby still, at the end of the day.
No matter what goes
hits
on.
The fan, it's your name on the door.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm still, like now, there's things I get in. So I can't even remember what book it was I read. There was a book that made me think about allocating cost to tasks that you do. So you've got, it was the dollar variant, because it was an American book, but take it to
Is that the one that's like, is it a £10 decision or a £1,000?
Well, you've heard me say this before then. So so it's exactly, or maybe I haven't, and you've read it, but I consistently say this to my team. So, and I read this book and I thought, God, I am doing the £1,000 task. I need to be doing the £1 million task, £100,000 task.
Yeah.
And should never be going below the £10,000 task. And you look at it and you start teaching your staff. And today I've got a session after here. I'm going back to Peterborough. Our management team are in. I'm doing an hour's coaching session.
Yeah.
And that's more around how they instantly need to. I want my team to start thinking about who can do this. Why can't they do this task that you've got? If you start to, because I know that some of our managers will be still creeping into that.
So you're talking about your middle sort of tier management team, or
I think middle management. Once we snap out of it as owners, because that's more of a personal. You've got to, you founded the business. It's yours. It's your baby. The hardest role, I actually think, is in middle management, because you've got to know how to communicate upwards right well, sideways and down. And the same when you're kind of coaching and you've got a team. It's so easy to just pick it up there and they deal with the issue.
Yeah.
And we want to try and help our managers understand.
It's not enabling anyone to grow, though, is it? It's not giving someone that experience.
Yeah. And we want to create, the saying, keep it simple. Yeah. So I want to create a model internally where we stick and we stick to that, stick to this methodology. And that's what we're training out this afternoon with the team. But it's a difficult transition when you're a business owner to snap out of that kind of decision making, other people being empowered. But if you don't, I think you can't grow. I think you get to the point where people get nervous to make a decision, and your culture will just. If you keep doing it, you can say with your words that I'm doing it, but ultimately, if you don't,
you need to act upon it.
It's just going to keep coming back in, and you're just going to keep getting. You'll get ill in the end. You'll be poorly because you just get bombarded with other
I think you're also not giving other people an opportunity to do stuff that they're probably capable to do. Yeah. Which, for me, then, if I go back to previous businesses that I've worked in, my best experience is when I've been given autonomy to do what I want to do. Yeah. And then if I fuck it up, then I'm told and I learn and we go again. Or if I do really well, it's down to me and the people that work for me or whatever. The bits where I felt as frustrated is when I'm hampered, is when somebody's sitting on my head constantly making those decisions for me. It's like, I can do this. You're paying me this. I can do it. So just let me go and do it. And if I don't do it very well, then come speak to me. Yeah. And having that conversation in a respectful way with somebody that sits above you is sometimes a difficult one to have without looking like an arrogant prick. Yeah. In reality, depending on who you're speaking to. But then from their side of things, it's like, well, there's a control piece going on which I wouldn't have known about at that point. Yeah. Well,
we want to make sure our managers are thinking, who can I train to do this?
Yeah.
Who can I outsource this to? Is another aspect. Who can I delegate this to if I can't train? Who can I do it to? And sometimes you can't. You've got to do it. So we're kind of wanting to make sure they're thinking that on the front foot. And I think this task analogy that I gave before, I think it's £10, £100, £1,000. Yeah. You just stick it up £10,000 and get your team thinking: is that a task that I should
be making a decision, and why am I not? What needs to be put in place. Yeah.
And I think if you as a CEO start asking yourself that, you'll start to delegate more. And I think, and this is, I say this to still people in our business today. That's going to take you 10 hours to train that one task, or that problem that we're dealing with, or something that you've got to evolve out and get it off your desk so everyone else can do it. But you're going to gain 60 hours back this year.
It's never going to come back in.
Because it's like happens once a fortnight or whatever. Yeah. And you like, add that up, think, and it's just getting people, and you need to be on their shoulders all the time, getting it into them. Yeah. And I think it starts with you, though, at the top. When you start doing it, it'll just flush through the organisation.
So when you say about control, and for a leader or a majority shareholder that set a business up, a founder, it's hard to relinquish the control, get that balance. Yeah. So you've got a senior board now. You've got a senior management team that work and run the business with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you deal with engaging them with the same passion that you have as an owner, and how do you then deal with the potential friction? Because all those people that sit on that senior management team, I'm guessing they're going to be very different. Yeah, they're going to look at things differently.
The biggest thing is to pay them well, and that's because that's pay them the market value that you think it's worth, and then you've got to incentivise them. So we have incentives that we put in place to drive our goals, and them goals are not always monetary. The goals could be other aspects, and I think if you're easy to get on with and you care as a business owner, I think you retain your staff.
Have you had moments where you're in SMT and you're having discussions and there's friction where maybe one person sees it completely different to the other? How do you manage those? How do you manage those situations?
You listen, take it on board, and go away. And I learned this very early in my career, actually. So Steve Watkins, you know, he said he's got 5% of our business, commercial director. How he landed in that role is, I remember, me being tin hat on, off I go. Yeah. And he go, we could look at it this way. And it was kind of one of them situations where both are right, but it's like, which one do you do?
Different ways of doing
it. And I remember like 2 or 3 times thinking, actually, we've got to the destination. However, I think we would have got there quicker if we actually did what he said. And you start to reflect, and people grow on you, don't they? Yeah. So that's what happened with Steve.
He's demonstrating the value.
Yeah. So I'm kind of optimistic. off I go, and he's pessimistic, so it kind of reins us in with that. Then you've got my CFO Paul, who is very pragmatic. He's very relaxed, won't jump into stuff. He likes to think things through, but then he doesn't know necessarily the wider industry to the depths of what probably me and Steve would.
Yeah.
And then you've got Simon to the side of us, who's like who's on our sales engine. He's like
run his own business. And
but he's a hamster wheel. He goes around. So it's quite ironic. I was that person.
Yeah.
And we've got the right balance between the team, and that's one of the key factors that I'm kind of alluding to here. You've got to have a good balance, and when people do have a view, they've got to be able to air that, and it's okay if I'm wrong or have a different view.
Yeah.
We accept it. Communicating early is vital. So I remember when we launched our leadership team, and ironically that may now be evolving into a different shape because we've gone through such quick growth, and you kind of find there's milestones in business. What's right today isn't right tomorrow, but you just got to think ahead and communicate early. So I remember about 3 years ago, sitting down with our leadership team here saying, look, we're building this out, but as we grow, this may change because it may get to a crossroads again where we need to bring someone in that can help you on your next layer of growth.
Yeah.
But we will need to kind of, not sign a pact, but agree that if we ever need to have this conversation, we accept it.
Yeah.
Doing it early so it's then not a surprise if in the future you've got to bring someone in to assist them. And do you know what? Sometimes people come knocking on your door saying, do you know what, I think I'm struggling with this. And you kind of half know it, and you're thinking it long as well, but you're buying your time with it. And then you help
sometimes you need them to know it. You need them to know it.
And have a platform to do it. If you can't create the platform to allow them to communicate. But we do loads of stuff internally. So I'm very passionate. I'll take people for a bite to eat, have a chat with them, see how they're getting on. You do the employee surveys, but just getting people in the room and saying, look, be honest. We're all human. We'll breathe the same air, right? Let's just talk and tell us how you all feel. There's no wrong or right answer, and you can get some real good information come out of it. Sometimes you can make it too formal.
Yeah.
You know, you become that organisation where it's now a process.
Too corporate,
yeah. Too corporate's the right word, yeah. So I want to. It's really hard to grab onto as you start to grow. You're going to see this as you go through your journey. You go through it and you start to cross and you get to like 90, 100 staff. It's like, right, HR managers, you need this in place, that in place. And it's like, you need this policy, that policy. And sometimes you just want to pick the phone and say, look, what's the crack?
Yeah.
You know, and you've been told, you should really do that.
Yeah.
And you but I find it works best. So the best relationships I've had with people where I can just pick the phone up, be me, and they can be themselves back, and then you move forward. But leadership is a vital part to any organisation. If you try and just do it yourself, or maybe just one of you, you're going to be right up to 50 odd staff, maybe 5-6 million turnover, 7 million turnover. It will fall apart.
I think we struggled in here, and that's my fault.
Yeah,
we did it where everything was coming through me. I didn't trust anybody else in reality. I did, but not. Is
that your makeup though? Because I think it's an element of my makeup. When I look back, it's the I've worked so hard to get to where I need to be. I don't, is it us, sitting there at the top thinking, I don't want anyone else to mess it up. If it's going to mess up, it needs to be on my shoulders rather than theirs.
I think I've always tried to overtake more of the strain and the burden because I want to try and give people an easier run, because I'm thinking that then means that I'm building credibility. If they if they've got a slightly easier run at it, maybe they feel better about the job and all this sort of stuff. And actually, sometimes the best relationships are built when you're in the shit and you're in the trenches. And we were in the trenches a few years ago, and the best thing we then did was put in an operational board, which is we pulled Pete and Hazel into the conversations.
Yeah, they're great people.
I started to then trust JB more.
Yeah,
I've known him since I was 15, but he's always worked for me.
Yeah,
and then that kind of.
Not with you, rather for you.
And it's like, well, he started the business with me.
Yeah.
And maybe he's got some good ideas. And actually, a lot of the decision making that we have now, like when we're having conversations about maybe bigger ticket items and stuff, before I make that decision, I'll speak to him.
Yeah.
Not because I feel like I have to, because I feel like there's genuine value that comes back from it, because he looks at things differently.
As you've got with Steve. Yeah, exactly.
My glass is half full, his glass is half empty.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. So you've got the balance, right? And I think where it's dangerous, everyone's
patting on the back doing the same thing. It's like you just go gung-ho in one direction, and it's.
Yeah, I've bought companies or bought assets of companies where I look at the reason why they failed, and it's because they're actually very alike at the top.
Yeah.
So they're all, they're what's the word? Eccentric people.
Yeah.
And they both. So I want a car.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having a car.
Yeah.
I want a watch. I'm having a watch.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of element where.
And that sort of stuff's not getting you anywhere, is it? Yeah.
Exactly. So then you get into that, and that's just because, and also the age plays a part. When you're growing up, you kind of want these things, and as you get older, like you start to mature and you realise family, this and that. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have a nice car, nice watch. I think they're smart things to to have in your life and make you happy.
Yeah.
But when you're 28 and you're running a business that's probably struggling to pay its bills, it's the last thing you should be doing.
Yeah, of course.
I can think of a time when we were struggling, Aaron. We had a situation and where I won't mention names because it's not fair for people, but we had a company that was buying a load of SIM cards off us, a big amount, and they had a company approach them overseas. They were number one on one of the main network partner websites. Number one, they came to me.
Yeah.
And our friends at Geocom, who we're dealing with on the mobile, I had a good contact there and spoke to them and said, look, we've got this opportunity. To be fair to Geocom, they supported us, and off we went. And we were doing pass-through, making a few quid. But this bill overnight got up to probably about 80 grand a month that we were billing out.
Yeah.
And they stopped getting paid their side. So they're buying it from us, they're selling it to this Canadian firm. Canadian firm stopped with delaying their invoices. Before you know it, they owed a couple hundred grand.
Shit drops down.
I've got 30 odd staff. And I had this relationship through Geocom because they acquired a company near Peterborough, and one or two were high up at board level. So to get this deal done, it needed special commercials, and they were able to help us. It wasn't Geocom at the time, it was Daisy.
Yeah.
That made an awkward situation. But at that point in time, I was driving a nice car, and I think I have a lot of respect for this with my team. The first decision I made was, well, I'm spending 1,500 quid a month on a car.
Give it up. Yeah.
Boom, gave it up.
Yeah.
And I was driving the spare pool car.
Yeah.
So people saw that, and it's them sort of decisions that you make along your career where people come and work with you and stand alongside you.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, in the end, we all came out of that on the right side. So Geocom, because they earned a lot of money, or Daisy, should I say, earned a lot of money through this process, they offset their profits to make sure that I walked away clean.
Yeah.
And we were able to pass it on to the partner as well that we were dealing with at the time, and they could then get out of the situation.
Yeah.
But it all stems about a good relationship. But I was panicking because I was thinking, God, we're a small business here.
Yeah.
200.
Sometimes the big deals, it's great to celebrate, and then when you've got to go and deliver them and serve them, and the risk, like we said before we even come on, when it comes up to renewal and all this sort of stuff, you've got that headache, haven't you? It's like shit,
Yeah, I've got 4 staff.
You've done well out of it, but
I've got 4 staff that are now reliant on that contract. So you've got your sales engine behind it. There's the next ones that are coming in. It's a fine balance, but that was a lesson at that point in time. That was, I think, I look back now, that was a good decision I made, because it was like, right, people see you making that decision, they get put alongside you. Us taking a hit for what would have been 170 odd grand it was at the time, would have been probably a bit bigger than what you guys are now. So I think we was around about 25 staff. That's a big hit.
Yeah.
You literally at 10 grand a head just getting whacked on overnight. We navigated out of it, and that taught me a lesson. But other lessons in business, I'm thinking about it. I've had a rogue member of staff at one point.
Yeah.
I think anyone that's been trading a long time always kisses one of them along the way.
Yeah, we've had a couple,
Really, I mean, for anyone in the telecoms industry listening to this, I could still imagine people could get away with it today.
Yeah.
This showed about our processes. I mean, we're talking here, I had 8 staff at the time, so it's we were really small. This is probably now 12 years ago.
Yeah.
God, the cheek. So this individual was taking purchase orders and doctoring them.
Okay.
So let's say that you went out and signed a mobile deal for
10. It's now 100.
No, it wasn't not to that extent. So let's say I sold 20 SIMs to you, but you only needed 15 mobiles.
Okay.
It came back that there was actually 20 mobiles.
Okay.
The deal made £2,000, not £7,000.
Okay.
And
he was getting the phones
delivered, and then 5 of these phones are going off to the CEO's family's house.
Okay.
Yeah, and what we learned for that is the verification process and X, Y, Z. Small, but it got built up, and it was there ended up having to be a payment come to me through. And do you know what? It's the individual's family that was involved in it. They honoured it and sorted it. But looking back, that was a 40 to 50 grand hole.
But I think the one thing that I really did not get myself ready for, when you not just the naivety, but just when we first wanted to start Guru, we were like, okay, we can do this better in this small sort of medium business sector, where we can make a difference. The last thing you think about is the people that are going to fuck you over, whether that's customers, suppliers, or your own people. It's the last thing. And then when you obviously I spoke to you about this before. When Delilah came into the world, who's my second youngest now, she wasn't breathing for probably 35 minutes, and we were in intensive care for a number of weeks.
Scary.
And all this stuff. At the same time, one of our guys at the time, 2 actually, but one specifically, robbed a load of our data. And the other person then started selling phones away from our business to customers that she'd managed for a while, making money on the side, at a time where I was at my most vulnerable. When I started I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that, and I had to. I lost.
It affects you.
I lost to this day. I lost parts of the first few weeks dealing with. But again, this comes down to everything going through one house.
Yeah.
I could have maybe delegated that responsibility to get stuck in legally to JB or somebody else, but I didn't because I felt too much. No, you guys you're running the business now because I'm off for a few weeks. You've got enough to do. You don't need this shit. We need to get sales in. You guys focus on that. I'll deal with this crap over here. Yeah. And actually, the two people that were doing it were people that I personally know for a long time.
Yeah, that's
like
nice.
One guy trained me on telecoms when I first job. Yeah. Known him 12, 13 years. The other person, very friendly. We had a friendly relationship. We used to stay at each other's houses and stuff in the early days.
That makes you feel though. It must make you feel.
But it's like, when I look back, it's like no one trains you for that.
No.
No one trains you for those things, and no one tells you when you start a business that those sort of things will happen.
But that affects your trust. So what then? So by that taking place, it does affect your decisions in work.
I think so. Yeah.
I think you become. So
it's a balance, though, isn't it? Because you like, do I want these people to affect my decision making on genuinely good people potentially?
Yeah.
Or does it go the other way where I find a balance and you just learn that, do you know what, people are there to fuck you over? Yeah. Or do you go too much on the other side? Don't trust nobody. And that don't work for you either.
I think you will try in your head tell yourself that I'm going to do the right thing, which is just to crack on as normal and trust people and be that way. But you subconsciously have an element, you have a dent in your system that's gone on. Yeah. And I think time's a healer. You evolve out of it. And I think if anyone who's serious about growing their business, you just need to move on from any negativity that goes on around you. Yeah. Get your head down and crack on. Yeah. And you surround yourself with good people, you'll go off in the right direction. And people, unfortunately, will jump off along the way. Many, hopefully, all for the right reasons. But there is always one or two casualties that come along the way. And it's about you getting them right passengers alongside you. Yeah. I know you're doing that here. We've been doing it, and it does work. And then it becomes about vision, how you're going to go to the next level. And people are excited about that when they sit there and think, God, I'm working for an organisation that's going from 8 million to 15, 16 million to 30 million. Yeah. And they want to be part of that. Yeah. And that's kind of, it's not going to be easy though. Let's be clear. If we stay as we are in our business today at
nothing moves.
50, 60 million pound business, just stay as we are, God, life will be easy. Where we can just chill, right? Because we've got everything built.
Why do we do it?
I think it goes back to our sport.
Why do we do it?
I think it goes back to sport. So if you look at sport and drive and wanting to win and to be the best that we can possibly be, I think that's what's behind me as an individual.
Because like your business is making what every month-ish?
Roughly, money, cash gen, 130 odd grand a month,
So you guys are not in a bad place. So no. somebody who's not experienced in business would look at that and be like,
yeah, what
the fuck are you moaning about? What you've done all the hard work. 17 years is a long time. Yeah. Why are you wanting to keep going? Yeah. And people won't get it. A lot of people won't get it.
Do you know what? It's first time I've ever said about money, but we had the other day at our board meeting, this is about our cash generation. We kept generating about 100, on average this year, 135 grand a month cash generation. So that, I remember looking back in the day thinking, God, imagine if you could make 50 grand a month.
You've already surpassed.
Yeah, you've surpassed it. But my beliefs and the way I feel are no different to what it was when I was back in the trenches every day. And it's just all relevant to economies of scale. There's elements of risk that are far greater today.
What's that phrase I saw on? I think it was Chris Wills that said it on a podcast. He said, "You've already achieved goals that you said would make you happy."
Yeah. So what is actually the goal that you're trying to achieve? So
like I said out there's that bottle of gin. Yeah, nobody can see it or whatever in the other room. This Williams gin 3 litre. We bought it at the start. Like, we'll open that when we deserve it. When is that point? Because if I go back to the day one when we were selling negative deals to survive and put cash in because we had no money to start up, trying to do our best, just 2 people, we'd have killed for putting out a bill run that's 150 grand in a month.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like when does that become acceptable where we can... But this is where I think karma, and this comes back to what you said before about cars and other bits and pieces. I'm crap. I've always had a nice car. Yeah. I've been very fortunate in my other jobs where I've got the CEO's hand-off car, which are very good. And I love Mustangs.
It's okay
I'm back in a Mustang at the moment.
Do you enjoy it?
But I feel guilty about it.
No. Do you
I feel guilty about it.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so you should be fine.
I feel guilty about it. And I said to my son, I pulled up and I picked him up from the bus stop in it. And he didn't know it was me. He took 2 looks and then he's like, his mates come over, all this sort of stuff. Yeah. And then I said to him, when I got in the car, he's like, your car's amazing, Dad. I was like, we need to earn this now.
Yeah, 100%.
This is the deal. We're very fortunate we've been able to go and get one.
Yeah.
Now we need to earn it. And if we don't earn it, the car goes back.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've got some personal drivers that I want to achieve within the greater structure of the business, which means if I don't do that...
You can't have it, yeah.
No, I don't want it. Because I believe in that sort of karma.
Yeah, set yourself targets.
I also believe in, and my missus says that I'm stupid, but the way my head works is if I get something nice, I'm signing up for a load of fucking world of pain. Something's going to come and smack me in the mouth and say, why are you going above your pay grade?
Yeah.
Why are you working beyond your means?
Yeah.
But then the other side of it's like, well, I'm grafting harder than I've ever grafted. We're working harder than we've ever worked. You know, when is that time? And I think it's something that I don't struggle with it, but it's something I toy with in my own mind all the time.
Yeah, I don't think you got to have goals. Like, if you don't have something that makes you get up and want to go, and that could be your family, that could be hitting a certain target.
Yeah.
I have a nice car. I've always had nice cars, but the minute I got into a situation, I let go of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my ego of letting go of a nice car was not even in the ring. Like, for me, no, my this is my baby here. I built this from nothing. I'm not going to let that suffer. So because you work out 100 grand you can borrow and it'd be X per month over, and it's probably the equivalent of a car or two, a bit more than the car. So that's kind of what the decisions right then that I was making. And you should always have that, because if you don't, what are you waking up for every day? You know, and prior to having your kids and family, you probably got into it because that was one of your drivers. I've got my own business, so I want to be successful. Yeah. And that's something that probably has got you here today by having that.
Well, when I was door knocking, and you said about door knocking, when I door knocked for 2.5 years, all weathers, 6 days a week, pissing down fucking rain.
Who's that for? Who's doing for?
A company called R1 Global in town.
Oh, right,
A guy called Nick. I still speak to him now every now and again. Nice guy.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, it's a real graft. And you're like, what he said to do was, whenever you come back and you've hit a target, he said, get a picture of what you want. This is I was young.
Vision board, yeah.
Get a picture of what you want, put it on my wall. And mine was a Mustang.
Yeah, and now you drive it.
And then he said, and then cut it up into pieces, and then leave the board up there. And every time you come back and hit your target for that day, put one piece of it back on. I mean, it was like these little bricks, like the whole house thing. You're building the house, foundations, and all that stuff. And it was, I did 6 sign-ups today. The target's 5. Piece goes on, piece goes on, piece goes on. So part of me kind of is kind of, I've got an emotional attachment to that.
Yeah, target.
It's that target and that from the past. But then my other side of me is like, I could spend this money on something else. Yeah. Like, because my family are much more important. Like, if there's some shit in my family, I didn't have the car, I'll chop it in tomorrow. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so that's kind of it.
Is it meaningful or is it not? I play with this all the time.
I think you go through different cycles of life. So you've got your kids and stuff. They're going to grow and evolve, and you go through that journey. And for me now, it's probably more holidays with my missus and
time,
kids.
Time.
And I'm even speaking now. It's like, because Leicester's on the half term a week early. I'm like, are we going to get off to Tenerife next week to the missus? She can't handle short notice. She needs like months.
Planning,
opposite to me. I'm like, get your bags, we're off. She can't, and that's probably why we're so good together, because we are the opposite way around, you know. And but I'm that sort of person who just tomorrow make a decision, off we go, let's get on with it. And I don't think you should be guilty about what makes you happy in life. And anyone, from my perspective, money makes me happy. Like, it does make me happy in general. The one thing I do regret over my years of having a business is my health. Like, I've probably sacrificed a lot. And I've said to you on the phone a few times, I admire your fitness, how you keep on top of it and you make time for it consistently. By the time, sometimes I feel like you go too far because you're so committed. Like, you'll be up at 5 a.m. running around. I'm like, Aaron, like, you make me feel bad as well. I'm like, how am I doing it? Like, I'm not doing this. But it's, you know, your body is now, we're getting to a similar age, 41 myself, and I'm there sitting, should I have worked as hard as I did? My diet was terrible. I've been more focused on the business than I am my own body at times, and I think it's really important as a business owner. And I know it's a cliche or a saying that everyone bants around, but they say that you once you've got your wealth, you're using your wealth to get your health back. Yeah. And I just hope I'm not one of them people in the future that
suffers for it.
Yeah, and I think that's completely. That's I say last 2 years I'll be making more of an effort to go to bed earlier. Just be walking. Being with the family.
Just fit. Just generally doing.
Yeah, not being around the clock 24/7, midnight, which we've all done. And that's something that I still battle with today in business. No matter what goes on, I think it goes back to the roots of where we were talking earlier about what makes us this way. I think I've been wired from an early age. I'll never forget, we're going back to football. They the fitness things we used to have to go through, like we'd be in Denmark and you get woken up at 2 a.m, like an army drill, running around in your shorts, freezing, testing your mentality.
Yeah.
That getting drilled into you, kind of, you always think, right, I've got to be go, because that's kind of what was happening from the age of 12 till 20, really.
Yeah.
Through sport. So then you then take that into business.
They're important years as well, aren't they? Like, they're really, like, colouring your picture.
That's
how you're
phrase.
about on it.
Really good phrase. And I think that's what's happened in business. It's like trying to get your brain to operate differently at times. So I just stop.
I was speaking to someone the other day about this, and won't drop his name, but I was speaking to him the other day, and he's like, getting hassle from the missus and fucking this, that, and whatever. Oh, work's more important than family and all this sort of stuff. And he's kind of getting a bit of hassle for it and stuff. And it's like, I had a marriage go belly up, and don't get me wrong, we grew apart and there was problems, and probably I was mostly the problem. But a lot of that, when I was thinking about what I was working and stuff, like, and that weren't even on my own business, that was someone else's.
Well, I had the same thing.
That was in Marcus's business, and it's like, I don't regret it in such, because it's like it's your training ground of what you're going to be doing. Yeah. But I look back and I probably wasn't a very nice person.
Yeah,
I was probably a little bit too jumped up, bit of bull in the china shop. I'd work. You know, I'll be in the first. No, we were in that era. Yeah. Now we're completely the opposite now, which is it's not cool to work. You're told on social media now it's not cool to work all the hours. Yeah. Work 3 hours a week and go and earn £1 million at work, and that
What's
don't
that
work
book
either.
I read, the 4-hour work week or something.
And that sort of shit don't work either. It's like maybe the sweet spot's in the middle, but you're getting in at 6:30 in the morning because I want to beat my boss in.
Yeah.
And then you stay because I want to be the one that locks up, because I want him to give me the keys, because then he trusts me. But then I'm doing 6:30 till 7.
Okay,
and I've got a family at home, and I've got a partner, and it's like that suffered. So
me and you are quite mirrored here. I didn't.
So I got divorced, and that was it.
I didn't get married. So Jack, my eldest is 13 now. His mum, similar situation, and we had different. Looking back, we had different kind of focuses. Like I wanted to grow, whatever. She's more content, and
she said, "Don't start a business. We need to buy a house first."
Yeah, so we had the house and we went through it, but I kind of wanted to, kind of that vision board. I've got a vision, I should have brought it in today. We didn't know it's a topic we'd discuss, but I've got a vision board, and all the stuff I wanted to achieve, I wanted to be able to write myself a cheque for a value.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to do all these things, and all of it I've achieved.
Yeah.
And one thing I haven't done is the car's changed. I had a Bentley Continental on there, which I still love.
Yeah.
But I've got a different car at the moment, so I could swap them round, and the whole vision board.
Can I ask you, was on the vision board now, or in a previous one, was building your own home on it?
Yeah. So that's on there, and it's weird, isn't it, how you get these things.
Imagine that, the satisfaction.
Yeah, but that's going to be
when you first walk in, when it's done, not proper done.
It'd be nice, yeah.
That satisfaction. Or will there be something else then?
Yeah, but
replacing it.
This is it. So maybe we've got to do another vision board, but the vision board will probably, it changes as you get older, right? And you've got to. I do. Anyone who probably watches this, I do really encourage doing vision boards and encouraging your staff to do it as well. Like, what do they want out? What's dangerous if everyone wants to be an entrepreneur in your business and wants to go and be a CEO? That's great for a certain amount of time, but before you know it, you've got loads of people running off.
Their wings,
and then you ain't got business behind it. You know, so not everyone wants the same.
But then is there a case of over sort of egging up that development?
Yeah, it can be, and this is why it's important to have a conversation about what lane people want to do. Not everyone wants to go and do it.
Yeah.
But it's important to recognise the people that have drivers, because they can do it for you and go on that journey with you. And if you start to grow, you might have divisional directors that come and play a part, so they can be kind of that ownership within a larger organisation.
So, quick word from one of our sponsors, Guru Technology. Simply put, they're the highest Google rated company in their industry. A very different service and a very different set of products covering business to business mobiles, phone systems, energy, renewables and EV, security, CCTV, alarms, AMPR, broadband and IT. They specialise in dealing with companies who are receiving really poor service and spending a lot of money currently with their supplier. They will come to site, do a free of charge audit and fix any problems that you're having. So if you've got problems with your current supply chain, search Guru Technology in Google and give them a buzz. Thank you. Let's get back to the podcast.
So in growing your business, there's going to have been a rat load of decisions you're going to have to make, good and bad. How do you manage your decision? Some people say, trust your gut. Some people say, the devil's in the numbers, the data. Look at the data, data-driven decisions.
Yeah.
How do you manage your gut feeling versus what you're seeing on paper?
When it's small, it's my gut. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that today. So we always get our gut feeling, we back it up with data. Mm-hmm. The data is, for me, no one come to me and say I want to sign off just because I feel something. I think it's this. And do you know what? They may well be right because I trust them in their experience, but that's not a way to operate.
Validate it.
Yeah, just validate, absolutely. So you can't operate in a way where I just trust you, everything you say. It's too big. And we got to the point now where when we were half the size of what we are, so let's say it's 8 mil, you still had an element where you could trust your gut and pull the trigger on a certain few things. Definitely not now. You can't go in and say, right, I think this, I feel it. But because it could be so many different reasons why, and without getting into the detail, you can't make that true decision knowing it's right. And it's great. It's such a nice feeling to make calls based off data that backs up that gut feeling. You know the outcome. You know the outcome, because you know from just going through that process and tweaking it here, tweaking it there, which is going to stop this from happening. We're only going to go in one direction, and you feel more confident. A lot of business today. I mean, we're both in the same sector, like IT and comms and such. So a lot of businesses outside of our sector, they really suffer with data analytics.
They don't have the data to hand, do they?
No, and I think we have that in-house times 10. We do have people that... There's people that would do certain roles in our organisation, could be a real specialist in another organisation because they're around it every day. We're looking at this information as a team. So I look at our IT team. Data is quite an important role. They're having to go in, analyse what's got... someone's had a hack, you're going in, you're analysing data to see what's gone on. You've got to be good with that information.
So as a tech business owner, what's your relationship like with technology?
Oh God!
So it could be mobile phone, tablets. It could be
probably bad. Do you remember you built that box where you put your phone in, you lock it up. I could do with one of those. I think at times.
Yeah.
Because I think the consumption of mobile and tablets and whatever, we speak about this before.
Because we're seeing that as a trend, aren't we? The consumption with 5G and everything, the consumption of data has gone up threefold average.
It's everywhere.
Like an average, whereas 5 years ago, an average user would spend what was it, 1.2 gig or something, and it's gone up like threefold now.
Yeah, on average. It's only getting worse. The kids coming through now, and as generations pass through, it's going to get higher. But my relationship to tech, if I go back to my roots, I was always on a computer game, Sega Mega Drive. Anyone remembers them?
Yeah.
Brian Lara cricket, sort of kid that would buy a game, not read the instructions, and a week later completed it all. It's all done. But then. I've spoke about sport too much, but got into sport and off I went. Tech's always been something that's present in my life and there, but I'm not overly passionate about tech, if that makes sense. I don't sit there living and breathing it. I'm actually more passionate about business and the strategy of business than I am the technology. But if I look at my relationship to tech today, I'm simple really. I just want a mobile phone that works. This will summarise it really well, right?
Yeah.
If Apple release a new phone, I ain't going to swap my phone because I see it more hassle. Changing my SIM, doing not my SIM, but changing the software, upgrading it. Now I've got to log into the apps; they're not working as much. I'm sure there's people going, "Well, you could do this, you could do that." There's always something that goes wrong when that transition happens, and I'm one of them people that just wants to stay until the phone's battery life's dying. I'll then go and replace it. So whereas I've got people in my organisation, a day like
they want the same.
They're selling their phone. They're buying the one the date comes out. So that kind of summarises me up for tech.
Yeah. So how does that dip into your family? So as a business owner, one thing that we always told is you got to get the right balance. If you go and get mentorship sessions, I'm sure you've had them in the past or whatever. Maybe you get them now, I don't know. But you got to find a balance, Aaron. Balance. You work too much over here, your family life over there. You can't have all of it. And what a guy says to me all the time is you've only got a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And if you go and want to give your business more time, something else has to suffer. Yeah, what's your relationship with that sort of stuff?
Part of me's here thinking, say what the right thing is, but I'm going to say it will be
what
really cards on the deck and say how it is for me at the moment. I struggle with dropping that phone down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think I'm addicted to work.
Yeah.
And that sounds really silly. I don't know if I said that to you. I feel like at times I'm like addicted to work. Not because it's the minute I stop and I go on holiday, like I've said to my missus, when we go on holiday now, you need to do 10 days because by the time I get to the end of the holiday, I've probably had 2 days of chilling because my brain's wired consistently to be work.
Yeah.
And I feel productive. I feel like I'm achieving something by doing work. And then the minute I shift off that, it feels alien to me. Yeah. So going home and being on it, making decisions quick, getting that done. Sometimes I like to just chill because I'm tired, and then If I'm not, I'm then what am I doing now? You've either got to get in the gym, I'll go and watch football, spend time with the kids.
You're looking for other things to fill the time, to do.
And then I think, I've got to be with the kids, but the kids can be draining and tiring, right? It's a hard thing to come home after a working week.
I also think, I don't mean this in a horrible way, but I also think when you're dealing with the kids, it's like basic stuff.
Yeah.
Like we're potty training Delilah at the minute, and it's like, it's going okay, it's challenging at times or whatever, but it's like this repetitive basic step of reminding her to go on the potty every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm at home, over and over again. And it's like my mind's bored. I know it sounds horrible. I love my kids, but I'm bored.
You've summarised it really well there, Aaron.
I can't, and I'm more miserable because of it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So me and my missus spoke about this quite openly. We said, like, it's
a tough conversation to have, I think.
Yeah, repetitive task, and then you gravitate to your phone. It's so easy to get caught up on a TikTok reel or whatever you're doing. But then we've made a commitment to go out and once a month on a Wednesday, last Wednesday of every month, try and go out and do something. So we just back in last month went to Grand Design Show for the day.
Okay.
So it was no work.
Inspo for the house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If anyone who watches, we're building a house, but that's what you was touching on earlier. So we're going through planning and stuff. So go and do that for the day, and then next month we've got to plan what next month is. But it might be going to London and go and do something. So we're just investing each other outside of our kids, because what you just hit the nail on the head. You wake up every day. I mean, the alarm clock goes off in our house 6:30. Kids are up, fed. One of them's in the bath. It's just the same routine. My missus is amazing, mate. She's fantastic. She gets them all ready. She gets them done. And she does let me go. But if I'm not back for her gym sessions that she wants to go to at a certain time, so you kind of just get into this routine.
It's a trade-off, isn't there?
Yeah, you wake up, same routine, go to work, back in at the same time, and it's boring. Like me and you, we're the sort of people that need a bit of change in our life. So,
but you get that through business because there's always something going on.
Yeah, but maybe that world's so frantic that you are addicted to that.
But and it weird that you're trying to build a team so you don't have to do all of that. But that's the bit that you miss. You said to me when I first met you, I remember when I was in the position you're in, and as much as there's challenges in your business at the moment, I miss that because we don't have those sort of challenges anymore.
No.
And when you're in the trenches, I really enjoyed that moment.
I'm going to enjoy today, once I leave here, going over to my management team, standing in front of them and training them.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy that and saying, here's what it is, and I miss, not necessarily getting a deal over the line, but I miss being in it, like really in it. Like hearing people on the phone, don't say that, say it this way, it'll be delivered, it'll land better. Say this, say that, and getting next to it. And the bit over the, I mean, we're actually trying now in our organisation we've looked at our management team, we're like, right, they're actually doing the 80-20 rule, they're doing too much.
Yeah.
So we've got to put more investment in to go in and coach them. I'm really looking forward to it. So between now and the end of the year, we're doing a big investment into training our management team. I don't mean training around effective leadership and all that. It's just helping them and their people.
That'll probably take a bit of a box for you as well, I think.
Yeah,
you'll be closer to it.
Yeah. You get to see what's going on, but it's really difficult as you scale through. I keep mentioning going through these waves of a business growth and journey. It's never a straight line.
So do you think there is a work-life balance?
There absolutely is.
Because I've got an opinion on this. I'm not going to tell you until you show your cards, but is work-life balance a thing? What are your thoughts on it?
I think that you spend so if you think about a day, you spend 8 hours, probably longer if you're an entrepreneur and you're going at it at the start. You could be up to 10 hours, 11 hours a day.
Yeah.
More of your time in being awake and focused is spent in an environment which is very different to your home life. Mm-hmm. I think it's very, very hard to be this way and then come home and be completely different consistently.
Yeah.
I think that is one of them is not you.
Yeah.
Right. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah.
So I think if I try and adapt, it's probably I'm adapting more to my home life because the business is me to be going at a certain miles per hour. You just got to be yourself, right, and get on with it.
Yeah.
To bring that back into the home life is different. I asked myself this question: like, if I'd have sold out and took chips off the table, maybe it would have changed and I would have been more mellow. I never get my missus in the pandemic. She wanted to kick me out of the house. She was like, God, I basically spent. God, I won't go into money, but I spent a stupid amount of money in my garden. I moved the fence out, and I was meant to just redo the patio. Mate, I ended up redoing the whole garden. The whole house.
Scratching an itch.
These wide steps, jacuzzi, dumping it into decking. All the electrician was around. I put 20 ton of muck into the garden. Sleepers round. She's like, "This was just the patio, Steff." Like, and I was like, "Yeah." Like, and it's my itch to want to be doing something all the time. Yeah. And so I think to answer your question, I think you're going to fight one battle to change. So, or to adapt to an environment, but there's one that's primarily you. And I think I am that work, hustle, bustle, go, go, go. And that, if I had the choice, would be the same at home. If that makes sense. That's really me. And if I have to pinch myself at times or remind myself that, look, you've got to be leading by example with your kids. You know, it's not, is it the right thing? I like that they see that I'm a grafter, but at what expense is this? Am I missing my daughter's sports day? No, I'm not. But if I was missing my daughter's sports day, or I'm not present in the room when they're just watching TV or something, that's the latter that I think is something that I need to work on at times, being present.
Has anyone in your past ever said that you prioritise your work over your family?
Yeah, not worded it that way, but it's it could be that you've got a lot on at the moment. It's work.
Yeah.
But then I look back at what that gives back to the family as well.
It's easy to ignore that bit. I think.
Yeah. What it gives back to the family. My missus, we're in a fortunate position. She doesn't work. She does work hard with the kids. I will say that. But she doesn't have to work. She can go to the gym when she wants to go to the gym. Got a nice house, nice cars. You go on nice holidays. So we've achieved it. But I think this is why now we heard a second ago saying, like, what we're doing next week, we're going to Tenerife, because I see my holidays now as my time where I like to kick off, be present with the kids as much as I can, and accept that I kind of, once that's done, I've got another 2 or 3 months now of going through that cycle of grafting, and then break.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Like, I was on paternity and I took more time off with my last, he says, but I think it will be, with Margot, and by the end of it, she's like, I'm halfway through it, she's like, you need to go back to work.
Yeah. So you mean you were
She's like, you need to go back to work. She said, you're horrible.
Really?
She said, you're horrible around this place. Like,
really?
you're different. Yeah. You need to... And then at the same time, I'd lost my running because I had a knee injury, which I'm coming back from now. So she's like, you're not running. You're not going into the gym in the garage. So you're not getting out. That means you're not seeing some of the people that you'd usually spend time with. You're not working.
Yeah. Your whole life's changing.
And I'm sitting there thinking... I'm trying to make the right decisions for my family. You know, I'm not working, which is good. Decision, Well done, Aaron. For the first time ever, you're not working. It's like, now she's telling me to go back to work. It's like, it's a minefield. But then you go back to work, and that won't probably be the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
And with this work, and it culminates this work-life balance. I've always, in the early days, tried to fight. In my first relationship that went tits up, and when I was grafting loads in the pure days, I was always searching for work-life balance.
Yeah.
I just don't think it exists. I hate work-life balance when someone calls it that. I think that it's more of a choice thing for me now. I take the
I agree with that.
As soon as you start saying I need a work-life balance, you start feeling the pressure of having to organise something that makes it look like you've got some sort of balance going on and all these things. And I look at it as choices. Like the business is really important to me. And I say this probably unpopular, but the business is just as important as my kids. It's just as important as my family.
Yeah.
And it's just as important as myself, and my health. I consider those to be on par because they're interwoven and different bits and pieces. So if the business needs me one day, then my family will suffer.
Yeah.
But if I've chosen that's the case and I've made the best judgment I can, that's okay.
Yeah.
Might not be popular, but that for me is okay, because there's going to be days where my family are going to need me and the business is not even going to get fucking looking, and that will be okay as well. And I think I don't look at it as a balance. I look at it as just a set of choices based on what's important to you. Yeah. And some days something wins, and some days it doesn't.
Yeah.
And if you've got that open communication, and you're in a fortunate position where you've got a business that can self-run it. I mean, in the early days, hard. You know, I'd win a deal, and then I'd build the phone system at 12 at night, and
you're hustling. At
the time, me and Soph had moved into a 2-bedroom flat, which is I hadn't lived in the flat since I was 19, 20 years old. We took a back step, like you said with the car. We took a back step, cut costs, moved into a fucking shit flat that my mate had in Moulton Park, and we lived there for a couple of years. And I look back now, like all these Snapchats keep coming up. My eldest, who's nearly 20, starts sending me these things, and it's all videos from the flat.
Yeah.
Fortnite came out, and we were playing these games, and we were doing these different things, and it's like really, really fond memories from that flat. And then I remember me building phone systems in my son's room while he was asleep on the bunk bed with my daughter, on this little dresser that was like this. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace for 30 quid, thought I got a deal, and it turned out it was a play dresser that had drawers in, but it wasn't this high. It was
tiny. Yeah.
So I'm trying to build a business that's credible, programming phone systems on the thing and all this stuff. And actually, they're the most the business needed me at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big decision, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
hearing you talk there, I think that, I mean, this is me being a counsellor, just hearing it, but it's relevant to me as well. I think communication really important. So if you actually think about it, it should be. When you was talking, I was thinking,
but we shit at it.
Yeah, it's
we
communication.
Shit at it most of the time.
Yeah, with your partners, definitely, yeah. So communication is saying to your missus, like, look, this is what's going on. I feel this way. I need your support. I'm going to go and do this. But she's communicated really well. Well, I don't know how she delivered it, mind you, but I'm sure she was probably shouting at you, which led to it. But if she's delivered it and said, I recognise these things and what's best for you is X, that's fair dues.
When we wanted to start this business, she said, previously, I'd had a, you need to go and get a house. We need to get a house first priority. So business gets the house. Like, how can you not see this? And it was very brash. Oh, fuck off then. Oh, this is what I want to do. Yeah. And it didn't work. When we started the business, Soph was like, is it important to you? Yeah. Okay. Just do it then.
Yeah.
Do you back me? I'll back you. You work harder than anyone I know. I'll back you.
Yeah.
Just get on with it.
Which is great to have.
And it's like that, and that gives you the confidence to say you didn't need it, but that okay, cool. But are you sure? Because this is going to be hard. Like there's going to be nights, there's going to be this, that. Just get on with it.
But you go back to the health topic. So it's one of the most challenging times I had was my 2-year-old Ellis, lovely boy, but he's got some challenges. We've got to test. You can't test for autism at this age, but that word can be bandied about a lot as well, autism. But I mean, when I've seen Ellis, I'm like, oh wow, this is what people are dealing with here. So it's difficult. But we had a situation where he, for like 2 years, was just a nightmare through the night. And when you're then sleepless nights, you're waking up, and I'd give my missus a juice. She was doing the week shift, and I'd come back and do the Friday night, Saturday night, and then she'd kick back on Sunday. But we still got to the point I couldn't let her just keep doing it.
It's hard,
you'd end up doing the week. That period was a testing time for that 2-year period, because it was nothing like Emmy or Jack, where it happened for probably a year or 9 months, and it wasn't as some nights he slept through. It was consistent 2 or 3 times a night waking up, and it made me ill. Like I look back now, you look at your pictures, you look shattered, tired all the time.
Yeah,
you're like, wow, that was impacting me. I got one of the best things I bought was this Whoop band thing I've got on here.
Oh yeah.
So I bought a Whoop band, and I remember putting it on, and it really educated me on my sleep.
Yeah,
and how much sleep I was missing out on.
Yeah.
So then, once I started tackling that statistic, kept better.
That powered everything else, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It got better and better, and energy kicked back in, and you just felt more with myself. But that was probably one of the most challenging times as children. So anyone that has a business, has children, just buckle up.
I was saying this to JB the other week, and I said this to Wilf when he came in, was like, I think if you start a business and you're single,
that's what I had. That's what I had.
What a fucking what a great position to be in, because every problem, I can deal with any business problem. Some of my biggest problems now is how can I deal with all of these things in when everything hits.
Yeah, it's a trade-off though. So I had Jack at 28, so I set my business up at 24. I said to you, and earlier on in that conversation, I said I admire people that set a business with family, go and do this, because you've got a big responsibility of bills to pay at home, and I was very fortunate. But that's a trade-off as well, because you're not as experienced.
Yeah.
So there is a trade-off that comes with it. And if you'd gone and if I'd have gone and surrounded myself in kind of your background, where I'd gone and worked I never worked in a telecoms company doing what we do today.
Yeah.
I'd never done it. I worked for a big national company.
That's surprising, really,
knocking doors. I'd have had to work it all out along the way.
Yeah.
And where I was smart, or not maybe smart, to me it's obvious, but it is smart along the way. I've just got around the right people.
Yeah.
And learnt from them. And as I said, take that bit. Oh, they're doing that well. Bang it together, and off we went. Yeah. And that's how you get the growth. But everything's a trade-off. So I was 24, but I didn't have the experience. So then if I was 30, I would have had the child and a house.
Yeah.
Then it's like, I do prefer the 24.
Yeah.
And then getting around people. But anyone that's listening to this today, if you're young and you're going for something, get mentorship quick. It's one thing I didn't do early enough, and I probably did that 6 years in. Looking back.
So other than what you just said about getting mentorship quick, if you could speak to like your younger self now, 22 years old, what conversation will you be having? What are you saying?
I'd say keep on top of
anything.
Keep on top of your health. Don't drink fizzy drinks and crap, because it's something that I used to get such bad acid reflux. I've just nailed it. So I've had probably 10 years just putting up with it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually the fizzy drinks, it was milk. So I've had a blood test, all done, come through, milk off the Richter scale, and I was like, okay, cut it all out. I can still have milk now. I don't physically have milk and breakfast, but I can have a bit of a cake with milk in it. It's fine. Right? But that has completely got rid of it, and I just kind of kept putting it off to the side. And my God, the minute I've done it. I've not took a Gaviscon in months.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I've just had these for 10
years. But
they're
struggling, aren't they?
Yeah, they've gone down. They're going bust because Steff's not having a Gaviscon. But with having a business, stress in your gut is kind of plays a huge part. So you can't have your gut stress just through stress and then be putting in something that your gut doesn't agree with. So, and ironically, when my son was born, he can't have dairy. He's like, he projectile vomits.
Margot's allergic to milk and soya.
Yeah, there you go. So Ellis can't have it.
Which is horrible at the start, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
so
full
hard.
on.
It's so hard.
And my missus had to breast.
We didn't even know.
She was breastfeeding, had to cut it all out and stuff. That was tough for her.
So we're in the middle of that now.
Yeah,
we're like 2 months. We're a month and a half into finding out now.
I swear, the world's different right today. I swear, there just seems to be more and more of it. Maybe we're just more aware because of social media or whatever. But
I had not known about that with any of my other three.
No,
didn't even know.
Yeah, so back homing in on the question. So look after your health. Listen to your body and react. Keep fit. Keep active. Is probably ironically that's not business though. So the two things I'd be looking back at myself, thinking what I didn't do well on. Surround yourself with the right people. You know, if you're going to hang around with a drug dealer, you're probably going to be a drug dealer, right? If you can hang around with people that are smart, and this is why I think a lot of people put their kids into. My children are not in private school, but I kind of look back now. That's probably why they did do that, because they're around that network as they grow up. But yeah, surround yourself with the right people. And very fortunate with my eldest, 13. He's looks at people vaping in the street. He's like, the vape, that's not for me. Yeah. So he's already he thinks with the right. He's a shepherd, not a sheep. My eldest. But I think that's really, really important to make sure you look after yourself and surround yourself with the right people. I think the other ones, looking back now, work bloody hard. If you don't work hard, you and me both outwork probably a lot of people in terms of how we operate, and we're probably in our DNA now. It's going to be hard to snap out of that, but it's a lot easier. Yeah.
I love that. Do you know what I like people saying is when. I know it didn't work out for me because I injured my knee and I've been out for a while. Yeah. But when I did that ultra, on no training, you're mad. Like all these comments, you're a fucking madman. I mean, you've said it to me before. You're up at fire. You're mad. Like did 7 miles this morning. Yeah. Like every one of them comments.
Just 7 miles.
I love it.
Yeah. It makes you want to do more.
Man, I love it.
Yeah.
Like I sound a bit like Joe Rogan now. Like, tell me it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're the sort of person.
Not Joe Rogan. What's he called?
You'll put everything into it. You're the sort of person. If you want to do something, so if you said now, I want to be swimming, you would want to be the best in that swimming pool. You're driven that way. And I've gone. What's frustrated me is some things I'm just not bloody good at. I like watching it, but I can't do it. I'm terrible. So if I go and swim, I just can't crack it. And but you are like when you're running, you've got behind it, and you're like, right, I want to be a winner here. I'm going to make it happen.
I just think I did the marathon in Manchester. I did 3:11 for my first marathon, which is decent. It's decent.
It's rapid.
And I look at that, and some of the runners that run at the club been running years. Some of them, like the couple of people I'm thinking of, 3 to 5 years. I've been running a year at that point. And obviously, you've got experience. You've been running 30 to 50 miles a week for a while. Your body's conditioned. Like one thing with the running is you can't cheat it. You get what you put in.
Time's your time, right?
You cannot cheat fitness. You can't just make it up with long distances. And marathon's such a mental game. And that played to me.
Yeah.
2 or 3 people were meant to finish way quicker than me.
Didn't.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
Mentally, they fucking gave up.
Yeah. And you're not like, I know from knowing you're determined. So
No.
So that's it. Work hard. So if you work hard...
That's a skill, though. But I don't think it's talked about enough.
Well, do you know what another thing is that I think looking back...
Not giving up and working hard for me are the main things.
I was quite lazy. Like, if I think about... I needed a purpose to work hard. So my purpose was my business. And before that, I kind of did well in... Don't get me wrong, I was top performer doing that role at Virgin. Like me and one other were top in the UK. But it's because... The purpose was, bloody hell, I can earn good money here.
Yeah.
So it was like being like 22
when you're spending it, you're not being funny.
22 years of age, getting 10, 11 grand wage slips at that was some years
you're
ago
earning
now.
it, you're spending it as well.
And but it gave me the platform to then go and set the business up as well. So my whole philosophy was dead simple. I bought a load of leads in, I had a load of money in the back, I had a nice little Audi car I was driving around, I had my flat, DJing football, as I said to you before.
Yeah.
So grand a month's coming in from that, covers my mortgage, bit of spare change. I had some money in the bank, I was like, I've got... Not 8 to 9 months worth of lead gen. If I was spending £5 a month on leads, I got some money saved up. And before you knew it, bought the leads in, cross-sold, hustled, paid for it, and I got more back. I forget. Do you remember the mobile days where you had solo 65 tariffs or so, whatever.
And you're getting paid like £1,000 a box or something, and you're buying a 3210 out the back of it.
Yeah, so I was doing it where it was like, on average, it's probably 5,
I love them orange plans.
That's what
they
it was.
were like the fishes, weren't they? Yeah, they were called different fishes.
So that's what I knocked out loads of them, and I was probably making on average £300 a box.
Yeah.
So I'd go and buy the leads in, go and sell 20 units a month with tiny small things, 30 units a month, and you quid.
Now you're going up against 15 people in the bid.
Well, now, God, this is one thing that really irritates me about our industry: the race to the bottom.
Yeah.
So you look at the likes. Yeah. It's mobile's done it first. The VoIP market does it. IT's a bit different because I think with IT,
there's value that can
value exchange. There's value exchanging telecoms up to at certain client sizes. If you look at mid-market particularly, like,
I think if you've got a customer that wants to engage in what the product can do for them, if it's just it's a phone on a desk, you're back in the mobile conversation.
You hit nail on the head.
Like, as long as I've got a phone on the desk that looks half decent, don't care.
Yeah, you hit nail on the head, and that's we've got this race to this bottom mentality. And I never forget when we were doing a lot of mobile back in the day. I remember looking at the Swedish market, and they were like charging double the amount to their end users. We had a client that was all around Europe. And
did they have any blonde female salespeople? Is that why they were charging? That's why they were getting double?
Just being you, overweight 40-year-olds. Well, no, in my case, should I say. But yeah, I've not run seven miles this morning. But you probably did. But it was interesting. They weren't charging for their phone. They were charging separate on tariffs. We're doing more of it now where mobiles are charged for on your SIM card.
Yeah.
The conversation I had with this wholesale provider in Sweden at the time, they're like, "Well, you're giving a phone away." So they were retailing our rate of say £35 with a phone. They were doing that at wholesale.
Yeah.
They were doing
and then
that
the phone again.
SIM only on phone top. They couldn't get their head around it. So that was interesting to see, and it made me just realise, God, we are going too hard in the UK, and hasn't mobile now become more of a value add to other stuff?
Yeah.
And maybe
I think there's still a lot of value you can add there because people do it really badly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you can still make decent money if you do it right.
Yeah, you've got to do it right. You've got to look after your customers, and then they'll come back, and you'll be fine. And then, but combine that with VoIP, IT. Yeah, you'll be in a good place.
So, getting towards the end, talk to me about where you and the business are going over the next few years. What's coming?
Yeah, good question. So we've got big focus now on channel and partners and dealers. So we've got a partner portal. We acquired a company called Marula that has their own data centre and ISP in Huntingdon, which is not far from here, in about 30 minutes from our head office in Peterborough.
Yeah.
So we've got channel partners joining us. We've got a new partner portal that's launching, and that's encompassing now phone system. QIP, which is underwritten by Bicom. We developed additional software around that, all in one platform, so you can order your phones, order your broadband, order your lease lines, all through one place. So we've got a huge focus there. And then we're doing, for our direct arm, part of our business, we're acquiring IT, MSPs and telecoms and taking our kind of cross-sell mechanism that we have in that organisation to go and do more of it. New business is tough. It's tough for anyone that's probably in the sector.
Yeah.
So we find our new business now is coming from our channels, our dealers.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're
doing.
Doing
Much new now?
Net new, not really now. No, not through dealers we are, but not through
your direct channel.
Direct channel, no. That's that has dropped away over the years. It's become tougher. And I think an element of that is the aspect of leasing's different now. That there's been people in our industry who just abused it really. 7-year lease and everything they do. Without saying names, they're in the press, and I think that has caused us some friction in the sector. So people are customers are waking up to that. They're realising and a bit more cautious. So that's good for us in the long run. But in terms of margins eroding, own book, cash gen that you can do off a deal is probably lower than what it has been. So driving a new business sales force can be quite a long tail process that you burn cash. And then up you go. So it's how deep your pockets are really in that aspect, and it's tough. There's macroeconomics out there in this industry now, which is for everyone. There's less businesses.
Well, you look 10 years ago, your phones cost 50 quid, 80 quid.
Yeah.
Your tariffs are high. Now you go to present day, your phones are 1,200 quid. Your tariffs are even lower. Yeah. And you get more things thrown in. It's like
exactly. So it's just a kitchen sink at it, and.
So you're doing that with the partners and the channel stuff.
Yeah,
and you mentioned about your IT, and you've done some bits on AI recently.
Yes, AI is huge. So that's certainly around AI. So we've partnered up with Coolitics. For us, that's going to be it's where it takes the call. You think of many call centres now and just general businesses analysing what their staff are saying on the phone call. It's not really been about, but this takes it to a whole new level. It really, everyone who sees it goes, "Oh wow, I want that in my business." So that for me is a no-brainer. That's when I saw it. I was like, "Yeah, I'd want this in my business." So. A lot of Coolitics is something that we're going to be pushing. It's going to be a big thing for us, certainly back end of this year, going into 2020, 6. We'll be getting behind that. IT, so I think we mentioned before about acquiring IT companies and putting them into our engine. IT is an interesting kind of sector at the moment, because if you look outside you're seeing some of these European companies buying out British MSPs, and I do have a feeling that they're probably seeing something that I kind of was half sniffing at before, that IT MSP could become more of a global offering. So like if you're here now and you're a UK-based business, and facilitating companies that potentially have presence in America, presence here, because it's how easy it is for us all to travel. Brexit maybe not as easy for us, but you get the gist. It is easy now to get on a flight, go to Dubai, go here, go there. You've got this digital world where people can travel and work from anywhere. IT support probably is going to take that evolvement as well, and that's why I think these Scandinavian companies are acquiring into the UK market. I've seen 1 or 2 big players in the US come into the UK market, and I think they're looking at the global offering.
Is that driving prices up when you're looking at buying companies?
It does, yes. This is why we sit in our zone. Like, we know our lane right now. We're not private equity backed, so we did 4 acquisitions. I never want to do that again because it's put too much pressure on the team. But we did 4 in about 12 weeks.
Till next time.
Yeah, till next time. But I generally wouldn't. We had they were 1 share purchase, 3 base acquisitions.
Yeah.
And it was too much for our team. And we got a deal team that you always need when you put alongside doing acquisitions. We kind of got to the point where it was me, like I said, back in there, hustling. But now we've got people that do the data, do the analysis, do the implementation. But banging 4 on the desk in 12 weeks was too much. And we definitely 100% wouldn't be doing that. I've lost my train of thought there. What was we talking about? We were talking about...
So you've got your channel stuff coming.
Yeah, channel. So
channel stuff happening now and coming, your AI stuff.
Yeah,
looking at acquisitions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping that all going, and and we're looking to scale. We're looking at some offshore resource at the moment to support 24/7 IT support, because we've got clients that use us for 24/7, but we were open. We say at the moment we outsource this part of the leg of it, but they are commenting that we can see a big difference between dealing with your people and them. So it's an opportunity for us to do it, and because we've got the channel side over here and the partners and dealers, we're kind of looking at going, well, actually, if we're going to do 24/7, that will be a complementing strategy in the future. So we might as well go crack on and do it. So we will be doing that as well. And we are interested in buying companies that are probably sub 2 million in revenue, EBITDA $500,000 or less. That's kind of where we're batting right now. And if something's, say, 150 grand in EBITDA, probably not going to be. I'll be talking to you and saying, look, I've got one here for you that you might want to get your teeth into, So that's where we're going to do. But the private equity guys that are backed, they tend to £1 million up is probably where they start. They're not interested in doing something for $500,000. It doesn't move their dial quick enough, where it does for us. And we're really fortunate. Our debts can be cleared with the cash we've got in the bank, and that's after these 4 acquisitions. Then the ones we did, they're all small. We laid out about £1 million in cash on it all collectively. But the fact we've paid that out cash this year, and we've got the cash now to clear our loans still, means we're doing cash generating well. And we're able to go through and continue doing this. But I'm starting to feel probably what the private equity boys who are back feel, that, oh God, I'm doing these small ones. Why not just do one bigger one?
One big one.
Yeah, and my CFO is saying to me, we've got to be more, get behind that now.
Yeah.
We've got a solid business and foundation, go and borrow more money. Yeah. Let's go and not do it off our cash flow. Let's go at it. So I think 2026 is going to be interesting. We've got to consolidate now, tidy up, and then off we go.
Go again. So is that starting from the beginning of 2026?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it might. Don't get me wrong. You can't pick and choose when a deal lands on your lap. You've sometimes just got to take it, and that's kind of what happened earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But we definitely won't be doing 4 at once. That's just not going to happen, no matter how big or small it is, because you do 80% of the work on all of them. Yeah. So no matter how, if it's a small base that's got 100 customers, you still got to do all the legwork to be done. The integration's got to be done. So you might as well make it 1,000 customers or 500 customers.
Make it really worth it. Yeah,
absolutely. What about yourself? Right. Are you gonna get behind the acquisitions? Then you're gonna.
Yeah. We've had probably 8 to 10 meetings in the last couple of months.
Brilliant.
Specifically based on acquisitions. Makes you learn a lot quickly, because we've never done one.
I think it's important to get one done. Just
one
done, a small one done.
I think so.
And because you learn a lot through that process, you get the right deal team. Some of the people I introduce you to, you get the right deal team. And it's people that have shared it with me. I've got some great friends in the industry that said to me, no, don't use them, use them. So I have.
It just moves things forward a bit quicker. And I think where we want to go now, we've recently just had a sit down over the last couple of sit downs, last couple of weeks, and we've decided now, with me having some time away for paternity, it's made me think, what do I actually want?
Yeah.
Because you don't really think that much. continue on a progressive path.
On that wheel, aren't you? Like,
where? And it's like, until you know really where that end is, which really has to be defined by me and JB as the owners, and then you backtrack and you can reverse engineer it from there. So it's like, we've done that now, and we know there's probably 3 stages of ultimately...
What happens if you get there quicker, though? So that would you then?
That's cool.
Because I had this thing. I thought to myself, my mum.
I mean, that'd be a great position.
My mum works for me, right? She goes, Steff, you said you were going to retire at 40 and you haven't. And I'm like, it made me laugh earlier when you asked the question about what is it?
Where is it?
Yeah, what happiness? And I've got a target now. I want to get our business to 30 million in revenue.
Yeah.
But then you look over your shoulder, and do you know what happens along the way? And this is one thing that I didn't anticipate because I was naive.
Yeah.
Is it becomes easier financially for you. So
Yeah.
your driver today, when you get to say 10 million revenue, you'll be looking in 10 million revenue, and your business will be generating, say, I don't know, 70, 80 grand a month in cash.
Yeah.
That you're getting net cash generation. Suddenly, the way you feel today isn't how you feel then later on down the line. So it's really can change. And I know people say set a goal on a target, and you absolutely should because you've got to drive towards something. Yeah. But it's okay to deviate off what the original goal was as well. Having no goal is a problem.
I think we've looked too far ahead.
Yeah.
To a point, like what we've done now is we've set where we want to be in 12 months. So me and JB know where we want to be in a certain amount of time over that, but we've looked at it as an operational business.
Yeah, and put that into your team as
12
well.
months, and we've dripped it down, and me and JB have been very specific on what we want and why we want it. We're about to roll out a new vision for the business, a new why for the business, which we've engaged the operational board with, and we've put together, we've had various meetings on it, and because we need our board to step up, we've put together a new set of operational board values and non-negotiables, which we've all had a hand in driving. They probably have more hand in driving that part.
Well done, that's good.
Because we're not going to be able to get there.
Yeah.
And the conversations have been...
It's hard to maintain that. So your values, we have values around our wall, and then...
They need to mean something,
They need to mean something,
like,
and then it's hard. You will, when you get really busy, you can fall away from that, and you need to get back in line.
But we need to keep reinforcing those things to get us where we need to. And the conversation with the guys, not a crap conversation, but it's reality is good. Look, somebody probably won't be sitting around this table in a year because the business will outgrow them, or they might not want it, or maybe they'll be happy here.
Yeah, and trace into what they're doing.
We're not going to be here in a year. We're going to be here by hook or by crook. And part of that is acquisition, part of that is various other 4 main factors that we're driving. Yeah. And that's all okay, but we want to be open with that now, so we all agree where we're at, because there's going to be some of these values and some of these non-negotiables that some people around this table will not do. Yeah. And they'll forget about and step away from consistently. That's a problem for the business's success.
Come and knock on my door and have a conversation with me now about it. And I touched on this early, didn't I? About having that convo early.
It's that communication, 100%, I think. And I think short term you get a lift, but then when things settle down, it's then what's going to happen now.
Absolutely.
Because you can all put stuff on the wall, we can agree on a new set of values and then forget about them. We all go and think you're doing the right business owner stuff. But what happens in 3 months? When it settles down, or when you go through a tough period,
that's a tough thing to do.
That's the big challenge.
It's a really difficult thing to do, and I think we're recruiting a head of people and culture or driving. And one of the head, we'll interview. Ironically, women we've been interviewing for that role so far. 3 of them have been women, but he or she comes in and does that role. It's not about just paperwork.
What's on the wall,
we want them to drive our managers to instill the culture that we want in our business and kind of mould it and keep pushing it forward, but coach our people. Yeah. Like, I think the biggest mistake we made, me and Steve, if we really were putting the cards on the deck, we did too much of the doing ourselves and didn't truly coach the people enough. Yeah. So it would be, I think I did it more than he has. So like, I look back at sales, I would sit in there and I would be alongside the team, I'd be on the whiteboards, I'd be talking to them I'll be educating and coaching, whereas I think Steve was such my glue person. He knew how to fix problems, but he wasn't someone that would go and sit along someone and spend 3 days in customer service off his own back to get into the skin of it. He would just fix the problems, put the fire out. And I think if I'm also giving, that sounds like a bit of disservice there, it's not, but because I think it was just dealing with too much, if that makes sense. He had a swamp load of it all coming in when he was doing the ops for me.
People deal with things different ways as well, which is probably why you compliment well.
But he couldn't stop to go and spend 3 days with someone because he would, to actually coach them and train them, because he had this fire to put out over here. Whereas I've kind of had, sales is easy to coach because there's a few different elements to it, but that's it, right?
You've done it for so long.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's second nature stuff.
So I think that for us was a whole big learning curve. And going back to your point about the culture, the people and values or whatever, the biggest challenge won't be 3 months from now, it'll be 2 years from now.
Yeah.
When you bring in new leadership, new management, because then You need to think about your induction program. You don't, today, part of your induction program probably isn't thinking about core values and what they mean and how we operate and what the consequences are if we don't all work together in this fashion, and what it means and what the successes can be if we do. And we've backed up with proof that how we've evolved. And I think in business, and I'll be lying if I sat here and denied it, that's been tough for us. And at times we put plasters on things, which is why now I'm bringing in a head of kind of HR. We've had external stuff, but we've got to bring it internal. To have someone that works
truly believing in it. Yeah.
And then they've got to drive the managers to make sure that I know that the managers are getting the support and the bandwidth to deliver the coaching. Because if they don't, we're not going to go from where we are today to 30. I need the managers managing and the takeaway we said earlier, the £10, £1,000 task, etc.
Yeah.
They need to be thinking bigger, doing the £1,000 tasks minimum. And then if they're doing the 10,000 tasks, then I'm moving a party.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And you're going through that journey now.
That's the strength of the business.
You're going to be going through that journey now where you've probably been doing the £10, £100, £1,000 tasks too much. And then everything you do will be £10,000 tasks. And then if you can get your managers to notch up another level, that's when it just becomes about your decision-making process and strategy.
Yeah.
And don't be embarrassed to go and pull people in around you to help you with that.
Yeah.
I think it's important, because if you don't, it's quite nerve-wracking, isn't it, making a decision. I think as you get bigger and bigger, like, it's even more nerve-wracking, because it's like, if I make a call now, that could knock over a lot more dominoes than it did before. You know, it's harder to unravel something that's in a big organisation.
I personally do a lot more of that now. Is I don't care. If I think they can add some value for us, I'll ask a question. Whereas 10 years ago, 25, I'll figure it out myself. I know everything. I've read a book, so I'm all right.
You think the answers are always in there, and they're not. And bouncing off. I mean, you talk often. Bouncing ideas off each other is important, and having that peer group and people that have walked in them shoes before is really good to learn from. So I really encourage that.
So sounds like, obviously, you've got your personal stuff for your house and stuff, which is cracking on, which is going to be another level of stress as well.
Don't talk to me about that. That's probably the most stressful thing that I've had in a long time. Really? So, planning applications, and that is.
I think it's because it means something, doesn't it? It's your family, it's your home.
When you do that, you make a decision. When you buy we bought a bungalow, and it's got a massive 50-metre wide plot. It's huge, and 50 by 50. And you're not thinking about the end value as much, because it's your family home, so you're just getting it done. But now you're fighting with planning, and that's an industry that needs a complete revamp. I know you hear about it on the news at times, or you see it in Parliament. They are all over the place. They really are. They make up fees for nothing, and it's just like, I mean, you've got people sitting in the garden watching bats, and I understand why they do it, but next door had planning, and they had no issues, and then you're going through this whole, you need to do X, Y, Z, and do this, do that, and the bat thing's a bit of a...
It's like making it up as they go along.
They've got to make sure there's no bats in there, but it's just the amount of reports you need is just
minefield, isn't it?
It is unreal, and it just drags out, and it's just people collecting money, really.
That's all
as part of the process. It's really frustrating to see. So I can see why people get frustrated with the planning process, because I've seen it firsthand. But it's stressful. But hopefully we'll get that built now. Hopefully planning will get accepted in the next. Well, this month it's open, the plan application. We're back and forwards with them at the moment. So hopefully, say 14 months from now, all done and dusted.
Okay. Punchy time schedule.
Fingers crossed, right? Yeah. I think we get it done quicker than that. And once we knock the bungalow down, I think we'll be out of the way. But this is all part goals, right? Getting the house done, having a dream home, being there, and getting that done. That'd be a nice achievement. So hopefully, 42, 43 years of age, that's all built. Hopefully, it doesn't go on for ages.
But you look back, it's 17 years of graft.
Absolutely.
And the attitude and the mentality is built in the early years. 30 years ago. So it's kind of like,
could I be bigger than what I was? I reckon I could. It's easy to say restart now and sell up, get X millions through the door, and then go again. And you could probably compound it quicker. And part of me just sit there and think, God, you know what? If you'd sold out and took the money, like some of my friends have done it, and they've gone again, and it's not their money they're using again. They're probably putting up some of it, and then you go and you accelerate. But I've had others that say to me, "Oh, I wish I did what you did and just sat back," because their need to support their personal life was forcing them to sell. Whereas we've always done quite well at kind of growing and adapting. If our business has grown, and I've grown as an individual as well, and kept going, and we're so secure and safe right now. But I worry that can be holding us back sometimes, because someone that's sold out, chips on table, personal life sorted, will be more aggressive on the front foot. So, but it's horses for courses, right? It's not what's right for me is right for someone else.
There's going to be areas that they think that you've got the win.
Do you ever have imposter syndrome? Do you ever sit there sometimes and think, like, that whole, should I be in this position? Because that's an element that's also quite
Is that something you've thought of before?
At times you do. You sit in an environment, you think, oh, I can't believe I've got this. Like, I've built a business up that's doing X. I've got this responsibility. And I'm just a kid from school, just cracked on and did my thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I look back now and think, how have I gone and built all this up? It isn't met, and it's through hard work and graft, right? But that imposter syndrome, I think, plays a part in a lot of business owners and how they feel, or maybe it gets clouded on judgment and decisions they make because they're sitting here and they're not in that environment, and am I worthy of being in this position? And that's sort of plays a part. It does, it becomes more relevant as I get bigger, I think, because I haven't done it before, and I think that becomes, you get more nervous as you get bigger and bigger and bigger. So if we get so this is why I keep going on to it, being around people that are in that space or been there gives you the confidence back in exchange. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when I'm sitting next to someone that's got a £150 million business, you're like, oh, actually,
But there's levels of stuff, isn't there? Like, I'll go on, and the same as you mentioned sport, I'll do my running, and it's like I'm running with loads of people so much quicker than me. There's levels of stuff.
Yeah. But if you go around them, you're going to get better quicker.
Yeah. Well, I'm fortunate to be probably the worst one in my little group.
Yeah, but look at the times you're back. Yeah, because you're only going to go north, right?
That's great for me. It's like, I don't know. I've probably had more imposter moments with my running than I have with the business.
But wait until you get to 10 million, right? And it's a bit different because I never had, if I reverse this round, I wasn't really hanging around the relationship me and you have with someone who's doing what I'm doing, who's just years ahead in terms of time and what we've done and growth.
Yeah.
So you can always put the phone up to me and we have a chat, and I've been there, done it, right? But I'm now looking to go to the next level, and I'm lucky that I have these people that rein in.
But you say you're lucky. You say you're lucky, but you are pragmatic and you're clever. Yeah. You would have brought people around you over a period of time, knowing that they can add value.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not saying the relationships are false.
No, they're friends. They're generally friends now.
But they work for you as they work. In terms of what you wanted to do as well. Do you know what I mean?
There's value exchange both ways that go by, so there's things that...
underpinned by a great friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's value exchange that goes on, and I think that helps if anyone that has imposter syndrome thinks about it. I think everyone to some extent has it, no matter what it is. I found with business that by being in, not mentorship groups, but being around the right people kind of confirms the decisions you're making are right. Yeah, and it helps you kind of realign. And that's important to have, and I feel sorry sometimes for business owners that maybe just sit on their own but
I think you've got to find it.
Express themselves.
You've got to find it.
Yeah,
I think there's also an element to say. I agree with what you said, by the way, but I think there's also an element to say you're sitting there not going out to find it.
Yeah.
Therefore, your fucking fault. There's plenty of people out there that want to help.
Make it happen.
Like nice people that have been successful, most of them know how difficult it is and want to help you. Yeah. Most of them, if you're not a complete muppet.
Yeah.
So go find it. Go have the conversations. Like, we got declined by 6 leasing companies before Kerry at Tower said, yeah, we'll underwrite you some deals. And 2 of them were people that I'd worked for 5 to 10 years.
Yes, you knew he was a good guy, yeah.
And you haul yourself about trying to get a credit line. It's like, okay, and why do we keep our lease in there now? Because of that.
Yeah.
Because of that. Because I've never forgotten that meeting. Yeah. There's my value.
Yeah.
That's the value.
And you just got to...
I know there's better rates of a place and whatever, and you've got to continue to chivvy along and, battle for what's best for your business. But I think there's a lot that can be said of holding on to those sort of values.
Yeah, I mean, Kerry's great for that.
Do you know what I mean?
I've got a lot of time for Kerry, and she's just been helpful with our business and many of my friends too. And you're right, you've got to look at different things in the marketplace, but we're not here long. Business life, in terms of your company, there's not many companies that will go over, say, 10 years.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So your relationships that you have in that period are vital.
They're important, aren't they? Absolutely important.
Yeah.
And you get burnt with ones that are not so strong. You think they're strong, but they're not.
Yeah, exactly. So you just
got
to
wake up quick.
When it's not right for them, then you see how people manoeuvre and what their true values are. But
that's one thing that I've learned. When it's not right for them, when it's not right for you, it's suddenly very quickly not right for them.
Yeah.
And you're on your own.
Yeah, and it's about having that tight knit. And I think the biggest takeaway today, like just for anyone who is listening, having that network group is like really, really important. And if you don't have it, then you're going to struggle. You're not going to move you're not going to move forward as quick.
I think take your ego out the door.
100%.
And go find it.
Yeah.
It's the big one for me. Yeah. The big one for me is take your ego out the door, and if you're in this shit, go find someone that can help. Yeah. If you're wanting to go to the next level in anything, even if it's personal, business, sport, go find someone who's maybe done it or is going through it and going out, open up and have a conversation.
Yeah, I spent too long not doing it. So I look back now, 6 years, so I was 24, set my business up, and I thought, you're young, naive, you think I know everything, and you don't. And I remember having my son born, I remember then starting to surround myself with the right people. And then I was like, right.
I think suddenly it clicks, doesn't it?
Yeah, you do. You're like, God, I am doing most of this right. It's just these 3 bits I'm not. Plug it in.
One of the things that clicked for me is like, it's not actually important whether you know what's going on or not. You need to just speak to the people and then try and engage. What can I take? Not in a horrible way. What can I take? What can we use and frame in our way, and then run with?
Absolutely.
And you do that with multiple people. And this is the reason why I sit here a lot of the time. You know, I've had people, the old owner of Gymshark, the old owner of Till's Chris Chase Distillery, like, you know, 2 companies just plucking off the top of my head that have, you know, Gymshark's a £1 billion company.
Yeah,
amazing. You know, he took that with.
Is this the guy who fell out? Well, they didn't fall out.
Didn't fall out, no. But
they went separate ways.
But he worked with Ben and got Ben Francis' business at the time from like 4 or 5 million quid to £250 million.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's
you know, and he stepped Ben down of his own business. He made him work in order to get, and now Ben's doing what he's doing now. And he even comes on and says, you know, Ben's had loads of interviews and said that's the best thing he's ever done. So you get to know it all, get in it, because he was getting a bit big. And, you know, the guy over at Tyrrell's is exactly the same. Yeah. So it's like you take things from people and conversations.
Yeah, and you can keep doing it. So you've got to get out there, keep spreading your wings.
You'll never know everything, will you? So.
Yeah, because I remember when I first met you, you like you don't get involved in events and stuff. And now we're talking about actually which of the 2 events you should go to be around the right people. And Glen Eagles, I mentioned to you, is a fantastic one at the end of the year, and that will be a good thing for you to start seeing other people how they operate. And when you surround yourself with the right people, I'm a true believer. I've said it earlier. If you want to be a drug dealer, going around with drug dealers. Yeah. You want to be an entrepreneur, go and hang around with the right ones. And if you hang around with the ones that have got £100 million businesses or someone that's doing 5 million, I can guarantee you, if you're doing 100, you're going to go and grow towards that quicker than you are someone that's doing 5. Yeah. And it's just having that mentality.
But I think you've got to be humble enough to go look.
Yeah, and be honest.
Because then your imposter stuff comes in. You're sitting around a table with a load of people that are loads better than you are. Yeah, at this point in time.
Or you think they are, but then when you talk, you realise actually we all think about the same things. Yeah. So there's a lot of friendship in the industry is important, and talking about real stuff. So the amount of times I go to events, Aaron, and I sit there, and it's like people on stage talking to us business owners in the room, but they're just working for a big PLC. They've never had their own business. And I find it really difficult sometimes to hear about them telling us about inclusion at work and X, Y, Z and this and that and that. You're like, hang on here, you're working for a big PLC that's backed on the stock market with a big bucket of cash. Yeah. What about the business owner that's doing 3 million revenue? Yeah. That hasn't got that luxury. Yeah. It's hustling every month. Yeah. Talk to us about our challenges, real challenges.
Because that is the real challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do we bloody grow at a cost-effective rate? How do we retain staff that want to stay, that don't... one of my things, that probably one of the reasons why we grew our business, if I look back, was I wanted to keep my people. So I thought if I don't grow, then they're going to go off somewhere else. I think that was one of the core reasons why I got behind it. I wanted to do it myself, but be part of this growth, and then it's kept some of my good people with me for a long time. And ironically, one or two have started to move on to pastures new now. Lucy worked with me for many years, great. Yeah. She moved to London, her and her partner, and it was the right time for her to move on. And you have these situations where we've had people that were high up, as I said to you before, they're now doing mid-management roles, but they were probably sitting above that previously, not right now to stay in that position. And you just evolve over time. And that is something that you just got to get behind.
We're good people. You welcome that with open arms, and it's all part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, mate. Well, look, thanks very much for coming in. Appreciate you giving us some time, mate.
You're welcome, mate.
Good chat.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.